Why does my contractor need to see in the attic? So a few things we're going to be looking for when we get into your home. Number one, when we take a look in the attic, we're going to be looking for signs of mold, signs of leaks. As you can see, there's a little bit of insulation in this picture. Is there an issue with the insulation being damaged from water? So if you think about a leak, it's actually got to get through your shingles, your underlayment, your roof sheathing, and then come through, get to your insulation, possibly down to a flooring, and then you've got into the issue of your drywall, which is usually where people say, oh, I think I have a leak starting. You've had a leak for a while, and this is what we're looking for, signs of leak issues. We might see rusty nails, we might see humidity issues. So we might see some different problems going on that we can identify by sneaking a peek in your attic. We can also take a look at the decking. So if it's a more modern home, you probably have either plywood or OSB. If you have a more traditional historical home, you may run into an issue like this, where you have actual wood planks. What happens with those is they're going to start to settle, they're going to age, they're going to start to slightly move and bend, and as they separate ever so slightly, as long as they're getting to be 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch apart, that's going to be too wide for a nail to actually go through there and hold. So if nails go here, you're fine. Nail goes here, it's going to actually be in between the two boards and not really fastening to anything. So the first decent wind you're going to have, that shingle most likely is going to just say bye-bye because it's not holding on to anything. So that's a big issue we're looking for. And knowing that up front, we can address the fact that we need to resheath the entire roof. It's not the end of the world, but it's not a cheap process either. So we want to let you know that from day one and be upfront about it. The third major thing we're looking for here is keeping your ventilation in line with what the manufacturers are stating is required. So when you hear of something being a 50-year, a lifetime roof, whatever else, again, we're trying to extend your life as long as possible. I think those are kind of puffery claims, and I'll get into that in other videos. But when you look at every single shingle warranty, and I'm going to show you 7 of them here, we look at inadequate ventilation, we look at disclosures, we look at things that are saying like this is not covered, and they all universally are going to start saying something along the lines of any shingles applied to inadequately ventilated or non-ventilated decks, reduced limited warranty period to 10 years, you do not qualify for the Sure Start. If you can prove it's exclusively due to a manufacturing defect, they may still honor it, but inadequate roof ventilation is an easy out for a manufacturer. So let's make sure we address that up front and your warranty is good. Owens Corning, what is not covered? They go to number 6, damage caused by improper or inadequate roof ventilation. Immediately they're saying it's not vented properly, we're not going to cover it. What does Atlas say? Limitations of coverage, what is not covered? Damage to the product caused by inadequate attic roof sheathing ventilation. So they actually throw a note in here and they go through FHA and HUD minimum standards, which is helpful. That shouldn't be a surprise to any contractor if they're reading through the warranty information, but that may be to the homeowner. So we want to make sure that you guys are aware of what you're signing off and actually buying, so you don't think you're just covered for regardless of what your situation is. GAF, what is not covered? They keep it really short and sweet and simple. Inadequate ventilation. Not a lot of story there. IKO, as a result, and without limiting the generality of the foregoing, IKO will not have any liability or obligation under the limited warranty or otherwise for the following. Wow, that's very formal. Any damage or distortion caused by inadequate ventilation. This includes failure of ventilation caused by blocked, non-operative, or defective vents, or any other condition that renders the ventilation system ineffective. I actually love that. So as you go through these, some lay out the actual specs. This one actually goes through and mentions blocked. So again, just because you have the soffits and maybe a ridge vent or an attic fan or something else that has a way of exhausting your roof and the entire system, it could be blocked. You could have a blockage somewhere, you could have something covered, you could have something that's blocking off part of the attic. That can void your warranty. This is a big deal. What does TAMKO say? Exclusions from coverage. There are many reasons why roofs fail, including but not limited to the following matters, all of which are beyond TAMKO's control. So shingles that have not been, well, if you're installing them improperly, that's a problem. They actually mentioned stored or handled, which is fairly common too, which is going to be a tough one to argue and find. but installed without adequate ventilation. So they name it as well immediately. And Malarkey, what exclusions? The limited lifetime warranty covers only manufacturer defects. What is not covered? Improper ventilation. At a minimum, ventilation must comply with FHA minimum property standards. So as you're going through all of this information and thinking through who you're going to hire as a contractor, what should they be doing for me, how should they be helping me, the very first thing they should do when they get to your home is probably do a physical inspection outside and then come inside and ask to see inside your attic. We always send a welcome email and say, hey folks, we need to be hopping up in your attic, so please have access for us. Now, we have done a few quotes where we'll come in and they'll say, well, it's in the bedroom and it's blocked off and it's really messy and I just don't want to let you in right now. We could still do the quote, we'll still go through the whole process. And what we do is we just basically lay out a contingency and say, we're not going to install the roof or even assume you have any type of warranty until we can see in your attic. So please get that place cleared out. If you need help carrying boxes, we'll carry boxes for you just to help you. But we need to see in your attic. It is that important. So if you need any help and you're in our service area, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to help you and have an opportunity to take a look in your attic and let you know what we're seeing. We'll give you pictures so you can see what we're noticing and help you identify any possible issues. If you're outside of our service area, I hope this is helpful when you're trying to find a quality contractor.